Howdy! Possum Patty here. Mr. Possum just came in and called this a pile of possibilities. Come on along. So you know now I'm gonna have to cut this up and put some of this in my journal and write down what Mr. Possum said, because yes, this is a pile of possibilities. Before I make a fun pile of possibilities to do page in my journal, I put that little sticker on there, picture of my boxes that have been sitting in the corner now for a couple of days. And I'm going to cut these down in a minute and make a page for my daily kind of journal, not so daily kind of journal. But before I do that, quickly want to show you my progress in my little golden book, because I finished off those 2 pages right here that were in between the 2 that I did. It was this yesterday. I did the pumpkins and the sunflowers, and I put the material on these middle pages, but I didn't journal on them. But before I get to the middle pages, after I finished all the pages, I went back and I said, well, this page seems like it's lacking a little something. I don't know. So I just added these Dollar Tree pumpkin stickers, and there's a couple little leaves there and a pumpkin up in the corner, and they are the ones that are kind of glassy. You could almost see through them, and I put a couple little ones way down there at the bottom. They're hard to see, but there they go. They do shine in the light, because this paper here is green, has some gold on it, so I thought these would kind of fit in there and just give this page a little bit something extra. And this is the sister page over here that I did about the sunflowers. So on the middle 2 in the spread, that is all about my Dollar Tree fall fabrics, I did this mushroom that I found in the yard, and it was the tiniest mushroom that I've ever seen. The whole stem and top of the mushroom together was about 1 inch. 1 inch tall. And there were several of them in the yard. And then I measured across the top. Now this is in millimeters, and it's only about 5 millimeters wide. There was one that was even smaller that was about 3 millimeters wide. So these are the tiniest mushrooms I have ever seen. And if you know what they are, please let me know, because I can't find any identification on them anywhere. Tiny, 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 tiny little mushrooms. Anyway, there was a bigger mushroom that I was looking at and actually taking a picture of when I saw these little tiny ones. And the other mushroom I didn't put in the book yet, but yeah, look at that. Tiny, 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 tiny little tiny mushroom. Anyway, so I backed the pictures with this paper, and this is from the Holiday Spice Michael's paper pack. And I put that little mouse who was holding the leaf up like an umbrella on this page. I just thought he was cute, went with all these mushrooms and fall leaves. And I took a little bit of this yarn that I was using on these tags and made like a little nest around my journaling tag. And I just put August 10th. I found the smallest ever mushroom on the front lawn. And I got my little nest back here. Because, you know, little mice, they make a nest too. Birds aren't the only ones that make the nests. The little mice make a nest too. So that is my smallest mushroom ever page. And on this side, now we're going back to May, and I have some Jack-in-the-pulpits that I planted in the rain garden, and this is what a Jack-in-the-pulpit flower looks like. It's got like a little hood and a little part on the inside that's called the jack, and this is called the pulpit. And I had never, I believe this is a first for me, taken a picture, sorry about all these reflections, of what it looks like when it first pops up out of the ground. And it's just like a green spear coming up. Look at that. And this one is just going to unfurl. And there's a couple more of those green. They're just like green spears coming up out of the ground. And I don't think I'd ever taken a picture or journaled about what they look like when they first poke through the ground in the spring. This was May 20th. And then I took this image, this one, they're all from Beatrix Potter. And I chose the little squirrel, I think this is Nutkin, with a door, because it says there's no place like Nome. So she's going into the little house there. I think that this is the first time I've captured the spears of Jack-in-the-pulpit sprouts. And this I printed out and I cut it into a little circle and put it in this frame. So this frame was on the material and I just added the little picture of the Jack-in-the-pulpit there. So now this fun fall fabric from the Dollar Tree Nature and Garden Journal spread is done. But while I was on the subject of the Jack-in-the-pulpits, I had to do one more page because I had these pictures on my phone and I wanted to just get them printed out and put into the journal. And I said, why not just do another page this morning? So first of all, the background paper looks like some trees and there's a walkway going there. And I had this picture of a large Jack-in-the-pulpit that is out by a woodpile in the front. And this is the inside of the flower. So the part on the inside is called the jack, right? And this is the pulpit out here. And it looks like an old-fashioned pulpit from a church when they used to have the little hoods on the top of them and the preacher would stand here and speak. But when I printed out the close-up picture of the Jack-in-the-pulpit flower, the printer gives you the ability to, you know, put stickers on your picture. So I put these sunglasses on there. And then after I printed out, I drew a little smile. And then in this paper pack, there were some tags that said hello. So I added that to it. I did distress around these because the paper's white and there's a lot of white in the background. So I used some of this peeled paint, distress ink, just a little bit around the edge. And did a simple, just a journaling page on how to identify the Jack-in-the-pulpits. And the journaling says, taking a walk in the woods, look for Jack. One leaf on a stem with 3 leaflets. So this is not this is not 3 leaves. This is 1 leaf on a stem that's divided into 3 parts. And this is 1 leaf that's divided into 3 parts. So this is how you identify the Jack-in-the-pulpit. And in the spring, you can see the flowers. And no, you probably will not see one with the sunglasses on. But I like to add a little whimsy to my journal, even if it's a nature journal. So I have 2 more pages, actually 3. I got one back here. To do, and then the first signature will be done. The middle of the book is just the story, and I already have, I believe, about 7 pages or so in the back done. So I'm sure I have enough things to just fill this up and get to my new one that I am in the process of making. And if I have some time at the end, I'll show a little bit of that to you. I took a couple pages out of this Candy Retro Recollections paper pack. That is not new. Somebody said maybe around 2017. I got it for 50 cents at a yard sale, or no, at the flea market. And I'm going to, this page is white, put a background. I love this one. This is like so cool. I might put that as a background. And one of the pages has this pile of radios. I might add that to the page too. I don't know. Think about it, think about it. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim this paper down to fit here. And I cut all these box parts out. I'm just going to take a few and cut them and stack them up on the page. Put my little bit of journaling, and that's it. Because, you know, I already did 3 pages. Yeah, 3 pages in the other book. This will be page number 4, and I want to get a little bit done on my journal that I'm working on with the fabric. So I'll be right back. Okay, I've got all my bits and bobs cut out. Now, how am I going to possibly fit it all on this page? I did cut out that stack of radios. I don't know why, I just like them. And I have my cardboard from my pile of stuff. And somehow or another, I am going to get everything on here. Something like do I have room for journaling? Do I have room for journaling? Well, if I don't put that other radio, I guess I do. But I want that other radio. But it's just not gonna fit, is it? Well, can I squish it in over here? Put it in the pile down here. And let's see, I could move this up. Oh, something like this. Maybe, maybe, maybe. I could make this smaller. Just trim it down a little. Because it's all good, all good. This is my joy. I want to get that crown in there. I want to get that joy in there. I want to get those bubbles in there. I want to get this tissue box cardboard in there. Let's see, if we put joy over there, put joy over here. Okay. If you're a brand new Possum peep and you see me writing blessings and bubbles, bubbles are just a very fun way of sending your thoughts and prayers to a person. And these bubbles are off of the ginger ale, Mr. Possum's ginger ale carton. Okay, I'm going to move some things out of the way. When he walked into the room, he saw the pile of boxes stacked up, and he said, "What's that, your pile of possibilities?" And I'm thinking, no, that's my pile of possum-bilities. Possum-bilities. Well, through the magic of pixie dust, I sped up the gluing part, and I finally got everything glued down. I've got the junk. I got the radios squashed in there because I really liked the radios and I wanted to put them in there. Got my picture of the pile of junk. I put a to-do sticker there, and I put joy because junk journaling is a joy to do. I added on a crown. And I'm loving this page. This is a junk journaling page about junk journaling. So we can just call this meta junk journaling. Because when you're thinking about thinking, that's a metacognitive activity. And when you're doing nature journaling, and say you're journaling about a butterfly, and you add where you are and what the temperature is, that's metadata. So today I am journaling about junk journaling, so I am meta junk journaling. Okay, all this keeps popping up, so I'm gonna do something to get this all settled down here, and meanwhile I'll just a couple minutes to show you this last thing. To get my fall journal ready, I took my Amazon Prime bubble envelope. I love to make covers out of these crinkly envelopes. And the first thing I did was just cut a piece of this cotton batting to cover the whole thing, front, back, inside, and outside. And I've started to pin some material on there. I got some sunflowers on the spine, and this will fold up a little bit on the bottom so I can glue this like that down here, and then I'll fold it in a little bit on the sides. And then I'm going to put some more material here. I haven't gotten that far yet. It's as far as I've gotten. But I think I'm going to sew this side first. And I have a couple of ideas. So I wanted this to be like a patchwork with the Dollar Tree fall fabrics. And I cut out some gnomies from the larger piece, and I think I'm going to sew these on. I don't know if I'm going to sew these on by hand or machine, whatever, but I'm going to sew these on over here. And then I have the Dollar Tree Hello Autumn, and I'm going to paint this and put it right there. Probably paint it two different colors, a darker one for here and a lighter one for there. And then put the gnomes down there. So that'll get folded under, so that could be about like that. Something like that. And then this gets folded over right about there. So this is a preview of what this journal is going to look like. Again, this is the front. going to have all these elements. Spine is sunflowers, the back is just the gnome material, and then I will patch some more of this material on the inside. Maybe I'll put the sunflowers on the inside because I only have one strip on the outside, so I got quite a bit of that left here. So I'm going to take this over to the sewing machine and just do some stitches on this. This part comes later. Okay, I did some of the sewing and I just want to show you quick because that's probably all for today. You can see on the inside how I've gone around all the squares with a zigzag. I'm going to do more sewing, but not tonight. The inside is the sunflowers, and that's going to get up in there. And this is the front. That'll be like that. And that is the back so far, so far, so far, so far, so good. And after I finish working on that, then I'll come back and work on all this up here. My little gnomies. So that is it. Well, that was a lot of work for today. So I'm just going to thank you for coming along and saying a happy junk journaling. Bye-bye now.